At a business seminar that I attended, the speaker mentioned the Pygmalion Effect. As you may recall, the Pygmalion Effect refers to situations where high expectations lead to improved performance and low expectations lead to worsened performance. The seminar attendees, comprised of HR professionals like myself, weren't familiar with the Pygmalion Effect or the landmark 1968 experiment by Rosenthal and Jacobson that led to its discovery. When the speaker noticed that no one in the audience knew what the Pygmalion Effect was, he was surprised, and he said, "This is basic human behavior. You call yourselves HR people?" And pointing his finger at us, he continued, "You should be familiar with this case and others like it." He went on to lecture us about how important it is for HR people to understand relevant academic discoveries in human behavior. I admit that experience was something of a gut punch for me. I remember thinking, he's right, I should know this. And since then, I've tried to be a better student of scholarly discoveries and theories on human behavior. Each year, thousands of studies are completed in the many specialty areas of psychology, but only a few of them made a lasting impact on the entire psychological community. Some of these studies were meticulously conducted, adhering to ethical and practical guidelines, while others pushed the boundaries of human behavior and sparked ongoing controversies. And some studies, initially not intended as psychological experiments at all, became significant beacons in either supporting or refuting theories within the psychological community. Here is a compilation of 5 of the most influential psychological experiments which continue to be taught to psychology students today and hold relevance for managers and HR professionals. We will briefly review each experiment and then discuss their implication in the workplace. Number 1, the Stanford Prison Experiment. In this highly controversial 1971 Stanford University study under the leadership of Dr. Philip Zimbardo, a research team recreated a simulated prison environment in the university basement. For this experiment, they selected paid volunteers who had been assessed as psychologically stable and randomly assigned them to either roles of prisoner or guard. Zimbardo himself played the role of prison warden. The prison guards were instructed to manage the prison for a 2-week duration without causing psychological harm to the inmates during the study. However, surprisingly, within a short period of time, both prisoners and guards assumed stereotypical roles, with prisoners becoming submissive to increasingly bullying and sadistic behavior of the guards. Their experiment rapidly spiraled out of control, and it was halted just after 6 days. The Stanford Prison Experiment had to be terminated due to troubling signs of a mental breakdown displayed by some of its participants. So what are the lessons learned from the Stanford Prison Experiment in the workplace context? This experiment highlights the situational aspect of human behavior, showing how individuals can swiftly conform to negative roles regardless of their personal ethics. Most workplaces have well-defined roles and hierarchies, and if leaders allow authority to go to their heads, they can quickly create a negative culture of control and submission. This controversial experiment serves as a reminder that leaders have the power to shape the culture and tone of the organization. It highlights the need for them to establish a positive and harmonious environment free of fear and where co-workers feel engaged and productive. Number 2, the Pygmalion Effect. In 1968, Rosenthal and Jacobson, 2 psychologists, conducted an experiment at Oak Elementary School in South San Francisco. The teachers were informed that their students were potential academic sprinters, implying that their IQs were certain to increase over the coming year. It is crucial to note that the selection of the students was entirely random, so this claim was completely fictitious. The teachers were unaware that the tests didn't actually predict potential at all, and that the high potential students were randomly chosen from the group. This resulted in the teachers to unconsciously direct their efforts towards the high-performing children and assign simpler tasks to those they perceived as lower achievers. After 8 months, the same 20% of randomly selected children were retested. They achieved significantly higher scores in their IQ tests. Ovid's Metamorphoses recounts the tale of Pygmalion, a sculptor who falls in love with his own carved statue. Likewise, the teachers became enthralled by the academically gifted students they were nurturing, illustrating how the teachers' high expectations influence their students' performance. So what are the lessons learned from the Pygmalion effect in the workplace context? In any workplace, there is a diversity of abilities and potential, with high performers receiving the majority of attention and resources. Leaders need to challenge their assumptions about high performers and broaden their perspectives beyond the traditional leadership pipelines, and recognize that every individual within the organization has the capacity to achieve their potential, provided they receive the appropriate levels of encouragement and support. Leaders can emerge from unexpected places. Frequently, the finest candidates come from unconventional backgrounds, individuals whom one might not initially anticipate as having leadership potential. So be ready to search for potential leaders in unconventional sources and provide them with the opportunities they need. Number 3, the piano staircase. Back in 2009, Volkswagen conducted a simple experiment at the Odenplan subway station in Stockholm. Overnight, they turned the staircase next to the escalator into a massive keyboard, reminiscent of the one featured in the movie Big, starring Tom Hanks. Throughout the experiment, an impressive 66% of commuters opted for the musical stairs instead of the escalator, showing that most people are naturally drawn to choose fun environments. So what's the application of the piano staircase experiment in the workplace? Certain leaders may be cautious about fostering a fun workplace, yet research conducted by Aaron Flugie-Wolf at the University of Florida indicates that a fun environment significantly boosts employee engagement, retention, creativity, and a sense of purpose. When we find tasks enjoyable, our motivation to tackle them increases. Moreover, incorporating joy and laughter into our work makes us more resilient. Bob Nelson and Mario Tamaro's research, represented in their book, Work Made Fun Gets Done, further emphasizes the importance of fun in creating an excellent work environment. The authors share 4 techniques to infuse work with a more enjoyable and joyful atmosphere. 1. Gamify your tasks, and when you check them off, reward yourself. 2. Make small changes in the way you perform your work to give you a fresh perspective. 3. Listen to music. And 4. Vary your location at work as a way to get a fresh perspective. While piano stairs are a bit excessive, effective leaders must continually explore imaginative methods to increase employee engagement. 4. The Milgram Experiment. One of the most unethical psychological experiments in history was the 1961 Milgram Experiment conducted at Yale University. Volunteers were asked to watch a learner perform a memory test and then administer electric shocks for incorrect answers. Despite the learner expressing pain and protest, 2/3 of volunteers continued the experiment when the authority figure urged them to increase voltage after each wrong answer, until some eventually administered what would be lethal electric shocks. In reality, the recipient was an actor and no electric shocks occurred, but the volunteers were unaware of this fact. The experiment demonstrated that humans tend to obey authority figures even if it conflicts with their personal ethics or common sense, showcasing a strong inclination to comply with authority's demands. So what is the application here in the workplace? While people may not actually electrocute their coworkers, the behavioral tendency to abandon personal moral judgment in the workplace under the influence of dominant authority figures is prevalent in some organizations. Numerous infamous cases of corporate conduct such as Lehman Brothers, Kobe Steel, and Enron illustrate this phenomenon. Each of these cases involved executives and employees who carried out unethical practices against their conscience when instructed to do so. Leaders must become aware of how power and authority plays out in the workplace. On a lighter note, number 5, the invisible gorilla. In 1999, Harvard graduates Christopher Chabris and Daniel Simmons invited participants to focus on a simple task. Watch a video and count how many passes occurred between basketball players on the white team. While the task was relatively straightforward, most people failed to notice a surprising detail. In the midst of counting, a man in a gorilla suit appeared on the court, stood in the center, pounded his chest, and then walked off the screen. Only half of the participants noticed the gorilla. People were so focused on counting the passes that they didn't notice the gorilla. The experiment highlights how humans overlook critical details when they overestimate their ability to multitask. Multitasking often leads to poor performance. This finding holds significant implications for the multitasking culture in the workplace. Managers and leaders should avoid overwhelming their staff with multiple tasks and instead encourage individuals to focus on completing one assignment at a time. By doing so, distractions can be minimized and productivity can be maximized. In this age of behavioral management, the underlying message is evident. A basic understanding of psychology can enhance your leadership abilities. Leaders who grasp the fundamental theories of psychology have a toolkit that goes beyond traditional managerial techniques. Such leaders can make sense of the complex mix of human motivation, emotions, and reactions that manifest themselves in every workplace. Leaders can then shape a work environment that fosters teamwork, innovation, and engagement.
John Paul here. If you like this video, check out the HR Insight YouTube channel where we have more videos just like this. Make sure to click subscribe so you get notifications. After today's video, I'll put a link down below for American Grasslands Hydrolyzed Collagen Peptides. American Grasslands is a supporter of this channel, and I really appreciate them allowing us to do what we do. When your day needs strength, energy, and resilience, you need more than just fuel. You need support from the inside out. So if you've been wondering about what collagen to use, you can trust the one that I personally use. It's American Grasslands Collagen. It plays a vital role in my diet and has a ton of benefits. Sourced from 100% grass-fed, grass-finished, and 100% certified organic bovine collagen, American Grasslands formula delivers pure, bioavailable protein to support healthy joints, glowing skin, strong nails, and lean muscle recovery. Whether you're hitting the trail, hitting the gym, or just want to look and feel your best, this is the collagen you can trust. No fillers, no gimmicks, just real collagen peptides for real results. Try it today and feel the difference. American Grasslands Hydrolyzed Collagen Peptides. Your body will thank you.